Good morning, this is Ron Brown. It is Friday, the 21st of February, 2025. It's about 11:30 in the morning Central Time. Today I'm going to talk more about the add-on, and I'm going to talk about these VPA Wyckoff scans, the combination scan that I mentioned in previous videos. And I'm going to combine that scan with the trend scans to prospect on the long side. As always, the market is your teacher, and as always, any stock index or ETF mentioned in this presentation is not a recommendation to buy or sell all trading strategies or use at your own risk. You can pause this and read the rest of this if you want to, but that should suffice. I'm in my designer and my user smart groups, and I'm going to be working with these right here, contextual trends up common stocks. I don't think I'll have time to get in the contextual trends down common stocks, but you'll get the idea seeing what I'm doing right here. And then I'm going to also be working with the category trades, Wyckoff, VPA combined, the bullish scans, and I have 3 scans in here. This is end of day, here's intraday, and then here is intraday, the stocks that are up today. So I'll just start right here. So I'm in the VPA bullish today, and remember that, let me bring the filter up. What this does is it goes into my Wyckoff scans that I created, and then these conditions have to be met also. There has to be a VPA flag, a bullish VPA flag contained in these Wyckoff groups. So it requires that there be both a Wyckoff scan and a VPA scan. So I'm in microtrend common stocks to begin this, and you can see that I'm in the end of day. It doesn't say end of day, but the first one is end of day. And what do we have? We have 29 securities here, which meet this criteria. So I'll just click on the first one, get rid of the designer, get it out of the way, move this over here, and what I'm looking for, or what I expect to see in the micro trend up, is I expect to see in this window right here a micro trend. The 3 and the 6 are both positive, and you can see that they turned positive on this day as it crossed over right here. Now all of these stocks in here will be in the same position, and you can tell that they're both, or they're all positive on the days since the 3 crossed the 6 if they're in this column. This is the column for the days since the volume point of control. So if I sort on this, I can see how old these signals are. There were none yesterday because there are no zeros in here. Oh, I'm sorry, let's go to the top. No, there were none yesterday, because 0 is always a crossover day. So I'm just going to bring the first one up that's in line here based upon my sort. And once again, if you look carefully, you can see that there are 3 lines above the center line. So this is a crossover also. And why is it coming up? Because it's in one of the Wyckoff scans, and also there is a no supply VPA flag here, and you can see this here. I'm doing this intraday, so there's going to be a candle next to this. I'm using manual update while I do the video, so I'm going to update this list. And then I'm going to go back to the raw combo on here. And this is end of day, and I want to point something out. I've been altering some of my views, and I put a different combo in here. If you click on combo, and in my most used combos, this is the one I'm using. It's called VPA Trends Up, Trend Percentage, Momentum, Percent EMAs, and 52-week acceleration. That's a mouthful, but I did this just to identify it, and I'm going to open it up and show you what this does. I put the 52-week range in here and weighted it at 18.2%, and the percent close off the 52-week low at 18%, and then all of these others were weighted at 9.1%. Now, the idea behind this is to locate the stocks with the greatest speed over 52 weeks. Now, I'm in micro trends up, so let's drop down here to primary trends up, fan up, sort on this, and you can see that I have the same combo attached to this end of day view. So if I bring this stock up, you can see that it's a very strong stock because it's in primary trend up, fan up. Let's look at everything here. 200, 150, 18, and this means the fan is up. Now, what has this stock done since the beginning of the year? If you look here, I've added some fields. It's up 823.1% from the 52-week low, down 5.3 from the 52-week high, and its 52-week range as of yesterday was at 94.07% of its 52-week range. Now, if you look over here, you can see how this thing has shot up. It's still only a $4.7 stock, a little bit cheaper after today. Now it's somewhere in that range, but it took off here, and it is one of the stronger stocks in the database, which is passing both the Wyckoff and the VPA. Now, what's the VPA signal? It's transfer of ownership. I've told you before that this is really a neutral VPA flag because you really don't know if it's going to go up or down. But yesterday, it was more bullish than bearish. Why? Because it's slightly above the 50% daily range. If you look at this chart, you'll see that there are a lot of these with the red circle in the candle. And they're indecisive because, for example, here, you can see it shot up, but it closed down around 60% of the daily range, but it kept going the next day. But here, it closed probably around 50%, but it was down. And it's neutral. It just means there are buyers and sellers within those candles, and you really don't know which way they're going to go again. But I have it in my scan because I think it's an important VPA flag to have in there. At least you can look at the stock and see that a flag of some sort was generated. I want you to note that on this particular stock, all the way up here, there was a little dip down here. I don't know if it went negative or not on the 3.6, somewhere in there. But for the most part, I don't think it went negative. It stayed positive all the way through here from this original buy point. The first buy point was here, and there was a pullback here, but this was an excellent opportunity. If you look at these little stocks, anyway, that was a great opportunity to get into this particular stock. Okay, let's take a look at a few more stocks in here, and then I'll go back down to the other trends. Here's another stock. It's not expensive yet. What has it done so far? It's up 473.1% for the year, and it's still moving. Here's your fan. I don't need to point it out, but I will point it out. 200, 150, and the 18. What I'm getting at with this speed is the fact that the stocks that come to the top of the list are going to be well off their 52-week low, and these are stocks that are in demand because they've got speed and they've got a fan. So this is a good sign of institutional ownership in a stock when you see a fan and speed, because it tells you that it's still being purchased. Okay, so that's end of day. What I want to do is I want to drop down to the intraday and see how many of these are continuing up. Now I have a different combo, which is an intraday combo, which drives these stocks to the top based upon price, range, and volume. There's 71 stocks that are appearing. That's the same number that appear at the end of day. But now when I go down to number 3, intraday money flow in, these stocks have to be up for the day. So when I do that, it cuts it down to 17 stocks. What do these stocks have? Well, they have a fan up. You can see that. And they have a VPA signal condition, which is part of what makes my Wyckoff VPA scan work. Now I see I'm sorted on raw combo down. I want raw combo up. So let's just take a look at these stocks, a couple of the stocks on the top of the list. VNet, look at this stock. Let's take a look here. It's up 933.8% over 52 weeks. And most of that has come recently, it looks like. In fact, I'm going to hit my alternate A key. And I'm going to go right here. Whoops, I don't want that one. That's for my position sizing. I'm going to go from here to here. And then I'm going to look down here. And you can see this run here is 329.6% over 38 periods. You get this information by bringing this up. I use the alternate A key, and it's also up here. And then you can just draw a trend line, and it will tell you the gain over the number of days. I'm going to right mouse click and clear all annotations to get rid of that. And let's take a look here at the weekly. Took off from here all the way up through here. It was under $2. There were a lot of buy signals on the daily chart. I'm sorry, the weekly chart and the daily chart. But the 3-6 crossover is a decent signal. It's not perfect, but when you combine it with VPA flags, it's pretty darn good. Now you can see there was an effort to rise back here. There wasn't anything. This is a negative VPA flag here, but the 3 crossed the 6 right here, and there were volume pocket pivots at the same time. Okay, I'm sorted on the intraday combo, but let's go in. I'm going to go in, click on this, and I'm going to go down to that acceleration combo. Click on it, and you can see that this stock is at the top of the list, followed by Philip Morris. I'm surprised. But let's take a look at Philip Morris. It's 72.6% off its 52-week low. It isn't a huge gainer percentage-wise, but you can see that it's at 98.52% of its 52-week range. So it's got acceleration right through here. Let's take a look at BABA. It's been going crazy. What has BABA done? It's up 98.9% from its 52-week low, and you can see the acceleration right in through here. This stock here, ABBV, is a very popular stock, but you can see the acceleration recently has been good, but it's not as great. It's up 88.2%. I'm sorry, up 30.8% from its 52-week low. Now I'm going to go back and just go to the micro trends, and I'm going to stay on the intraday money flow in. There's only 4 securities that are up. I'm sorry, let's go back. And there were 29 before, so you can see how this really weeds out the stocks that are not up. Same group, the same trend grouping and the same Wyckoff VPA scans, but this cuts it down to the stocks that are moving up. If I go to the short-term trend, okay, let's go back up one. There are 45 in here. The markets are really weak today, by the way, and it cuts it down to 21. So these are the ones that you could focus on if you're interested in doing this. Let's look at, first of all, let me bring one of these up. Short-term trend, remember, has the histograms positive on this window and this window. You can see that. That's what a short-term trend is. Cheap stock, inexpensive stock. If you look down here, you'll see that both of these histograms are positive, and this stock is moving up in a down market. One more. Steel case. 3 crossed the 6 back here. The 6 crossed the 18 back here, and it went into a short-term trend up. I'm going to move it down to the intermediate term trend up. Let's see how many there are. 42 in here, and the ones that are moving today are 11 of them. And let's look at super micro computer. Now remember, all 3 histograms have to be up here for this one. 1, 2, 3. Where was the buy point with the 3-6? Right here. There was a pocket pivot volume. There were no VPA flags, but the scans using Wyckoff and pocket pivots will pick these kind of stocks up. I paused the video because I wanted to look and prove a point here. This is a filter it's contained in the user smart groups. It's called Ron's Crossover Pocket Pivots, and they have to be box stocks. Now I'm limiting this to box stocks, and if you look at this date right here, it's a 5th, and my crosshair is on the 5th down here, which would be this crosshair right here. You can see a volume pocket pivot and a crossover of the 3-6. And if you look up here, you'll see that super microcomputer passed that scan on that day. So no VPA flag was necessary, but with the heavier than normal volume coming in and the crossover, it did appear in this. Now all of these are found down here in my smart groups, but if you're an Insider Club member, I update these every day, and they're in the add-on download. Okay, I'll get out of here and go back to where I was. So intermediate trend up, common stocks. That happened 11 days ago on the crossover, 0 being the crossover day. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to click on this combo rank and go down to this one, sorted on raw combo. This should be the stock with the most acceleration. and it's up 123.9% from its 52-week low. Market is weak today. This one's forming a flag. Looks like it wants to go higher. Earnings are out. Must have come out on, well, right here. The earnings are out. So anyway, see if that goes higher. I'm not recommending it, but you can see that the intermediate term trend is in place with the histograms all above their zero line. Now let's move on. Long-term trend, there's nothing in here today. This is just with the above the 200. The 100 EMA is above the 200 and the 50 is above the 100. Not quite a flag, but nothing is appearing in this group today. And then finally, I already was here, but let's go back. How many were here? Let's see, 71 is cut down to 17 on this very weak market day. The S&P had a couple of 52-week highs very recently within the past few days, and now it looks like it's starting to sell off. But there are pockets of strength in here. I want to take a look here. Let's sort on intraday range. ABV is at the top of its range, as is AEP, EchoStar, and Williams Companies. This is not nearly as strong as some of the other stocks. But the fan is in place. That's why it's appearing here or in this group. Now I'm going to do one more and then I'm going to end the video. I'm going to go to my contextual trends down and look at micro trend. You can go through all of these yourself, but the micro trend down is a good place to look for stocks that maybe have just pulled back for a day or two. See, this column's blank. These are the number of days it's pulled back and are starting to see some buying again today. So First Advantage Corporation, you can see that the intermediate and the short-term trends both remain up, even though it's sold off a lot. But the 3 is below the 6, but the pressure is coming off because, as you can see, these bars, candles are getting smaller, and then this candle here is at the top of yesterday's range. So it gapped up a little bit. It hasn't gone anywhere today, but the pressure is coming off. Let's just run through a few of these here. This hasn't been a powerful trend because these histograms are not very high. I wouldn't spend much time with that one. How about Viking Holdings? This had a nice trend going up. You can see here with the histograms. They were really strong, and then you can see the momentum was coming out right here, and then it turned negative. When these lines, the 3 and 6, start coming together, that's when you'll see signs of momentum loss. It's really hard to judge up here. It's much easier to judge here on momentum. Okay, I'm just going to flip through the rest of these. See, the move was nice, momentum coming out, went below, but it's up slightly today. There was the transfer of ownership yesterday. You can see buyers coming in. Pretty flat here. Doesn't look like it's going anywhere. Sirius XM had a nice run up, a pullback here. Seeing a little bit of buying today. The 3 is below the 6. And one more. PLBY. I don't know this stock. It's a $1.90 stock, but you can see it fits the criteria. The 3 went below the 6. 6 is still above the 18. Now you can work your way all the way down here. You can even go to the primary trend down and see stocks that are really beaten down that are up today. Remember, I'm using this view right here. These stocks are down. I know a lot of people like to look at stocks that are really beaten down and seeing signs of accumulation, and this is where you can find them. When it's like this, you can see, well, look at the weekly chart. Not even worth looking at. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. Just go ahead and play with these. But what I really like about these contextual trends up and down is I know what kind of trend they're in before I apply other views, filters, and combos. And I need to get back up here. So that works very well in conjunction, knowing that there are Wyckoff signals and also VPA signals. But you can apply any of my scans to these trend groups. Thanks for listening. Have a good week, and I'll probably do another video next weekend if I'm in town. Thank you.